We're going to start working on our second project. We're going to start a little bit today, and then I know we've got Civics EOC. Some of you got it tomorrow, some of you got it Monday. So we're going to lay low a little bit for those 2 days. If you're in here, you'll be able to work on some parts of it, and then if not, we'll let it sort of rest until Tuesday. And then we're going to work on it next week, and then through the following week. This is going to be a shorter window, and there's less work in it than the first project we did. But one of the things that the 7th grade teachers have talked about, and one of the things that sort of I've noticed coming in here in the last few weeks, is how much different it is for you guys compared to how it was for us as your teachers when we were in 7th grade, okay? And part of that is how do you deal with the technology you've got to use, even to the point that, we don't even really use paper in here. But part of what goes with that is that responsibility and sort of defining how you can work with that technology and still be in the sort of the right academic environment, okay? So the project I want us to work on is to create, ultimately the end of the project is to create a multimedia presentation for each of the groups that I might be able to show next year's 6th graders around how are we going to define cheating in this sort of new technology that we have. So one of the things I wanted to do today was sort of brainstorm what you guys think of as types of cheating or types of things that we might define as ways that the technology gives you opportunities or creates circumstances where you got to think about, is that the right thing to do or not? Elhan?
Asking for answers.
Okay. Asking for answers from one of your peers. Okay. Okay. Cecilia?
If it's a computerized test, like searching answers online.
Okay, so
Copying and pasting.
So computer testing, sort of looking up answers at the same time. Okay. Okay. Susan?
This is kind of like Cecilia's, but if you had to write an essay or something, you went online, you just completely took the essay.
So plagiarism, which I think that may be the one thing that hasn't changed so much. I mean, now, obviously, when I was in school, we couldn't search something on the internet and copy and paste. But our style of plagiarism was we'd go to the library and we'd open a book, and if you wrote something down word for word, that's the same thing. So I think plagiarism is sort of that long-standing kind of thing. But I don't know if that's, but it's different. But at the same time, there's a different way that it happens. Austin, will you give me another in my desk? So that's sort of been a universal way. So absolutely, I think that's. But I think investigating how we do that and how that's been. Yes, ma'am.
Instead of asking, sharing your answers.
Okay. So that's true. Is it? Elhan said, if you ask somebody else for answers, but in the same light, if you give somebody answers, are both people responsible at that point? So sharing answers. Okay. What else, Elham?
Telling people what topics are covered. And
Yeah, okay, so like ahead of time, yeah, telling,
like during the civics COC,
Test, yeah.
focus on anything government.
sure, telling, telling test questions or like that. So if you want to open up your laptops and look on Edmodo. Okay, go ahead. Whoops. Okay, so you should see this loaded in Edmodo. And it's basically got all the components that you'll need to complete the project. It's got the due dates, and it's got the grading at the bottom. And then it's got it's got how I'm gonna grade. And actually what I want us to do when we get through here is I'm gonna want each of you to turn in, sort of grade yourself, sort of self-assess at the end, and then I'm gonna grade your work at the end, and we'll see how they compare and sort of make notes about how we did. And so there's gonna be two pieces to this. There's gonna be an explanatory essay on whichever part of this your group takes, and the essays will end up being probably a page and a half, 4 to 6 paragraphs, nothing crazy. But I want you to go through a specific process in terms of note taking and doing some research. And then the second part will be doing a multimedia presentation, which will include, which can be either a PowerPoint or a movie maker or Prezi, or if you've got some other way you want to do it, I'm open to hearing that. And that's actually what we'll present in class. And we're going to do that. What I want to do is time this out so we can do the presentations in the last week. So we won't have, we can just sort of see everybody's creative work at the end for the last couple of days.